Welcome to the channel, everybody, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer. WB here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at the local admin password solution, or LAPS. We're going to be enabling that inside of Microsoft Entra ID, and then we're going to be deploying it inside of Microsoft Intune. If you're enjoying the content, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, like, share, and comments are always welcome. And also continue this discussion on our Discord server, link in the description below. Without further ado, let's not waste any more of your precious time. Let's dive in. All right, everybody, here we are on my Windows desktop, and I am logged into Microsoft Entra, right? That is the admin center. Keep in mind what we're focusing in on when we want to configure the local administrative password solution, or LAPS. We're going to be in Entra ID. And you can see the default directory here, and what we want to do is we want to scroll down to devices. Now you need to be aware of this location for the MD-102 exam, because keep in mind that there's a few things that we can do here. And specifically, I want to look at device settings. All right, kind of give a frame of reference or where we're at right now. Right, you can see we are at device settings. Now this is where you actually, inside of your Microsoft Entra, you turn on the ability to allow devices to join Entra ID or registration, right? Keep in mind that when you're joining a device to Microsoft Entra ID, registration is the minimum process that's going to go on. It really just depends on how much control you're going to have over the device. So if you do a full Entra join, that's going to be a corporately owned device and you get more control over it. Registration, this can be for devices that maybe don't support Entra Join, like a home edition, or devices where you don't have complete control over it, but you do have some amount of settings that you can control the, for instance, the corporate data that is going to be used on that device. But we're going to go ahead. Let's look at a couple other locations here. Oh, by the way, you'll notice that users may register their devices. And notice this is all is selected and none is grayed out. You can use this little hyperlink to go check that out, get a little bit more information. But if you've got certain things configured in other locations, all is going to be selected and none will not be available. Again, the whole thing will be grayed out. All right. Here is if you want to require a multi-factor authentication, MFA, to register or join devices. I would encourage you to do so, and well, they do as well. Another thing that they ask you to do is, requiring multi-factor authentication using conditional access. We're going to remember, I got another video coming up very soon where I show you how to implement conditional access inside of Microsoft Entra ID and Intune, if you will. And as we scroll down, we've got some more parameters of the device settings that we can configure, right? Maximum number of devices per user. Keep in mind you have these little thought bubbles too, and these are so good because they can, oops, as they go away, they can give you a lot of great information here as you're going, studying, getting ready for this exam. Now, local administrator settings, a couple of things here. Do we want to allow the global administrator to be a local administrator? And do we want the user that is registering the device to be added to the local administrative group? Keeping in mind that that does give them administrative capabilities over the device. All right. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, what we want specifically, scrolling all the way down here, is we actually want to look at the second to last setting, right? The last setting is actually about BitLocker key rotation, or recovery, excuse me. You can see here that we can enable Microsoft Entra, the local administrative password solution, or LAPS here. And it's as easy as just changing the slider. All right, we can change the slider there. Do make sure that, when you make a configuration here, don't forget to save your settings. All right, and now we have enabled, and it says we've successfully updated device settings, right? We've enabled LAPS for Microsoft Entra ID. But that's not the only thing that we need to do. Now, if we want to actually apply this, remember implement and configure might be something that you see on a variety of different exams. What we need to do here is hop on over to the Microsoft Intune Admin Center. And you'll see that typically you're going to you'll be on the home blade or maybe even your dashboard. But then from here, what we want to do is we're not going to devices, and that's something that's kind of important that I want you to keep in mind. We're not going to devices here. We're going to go to endpoint security, and over here, if we scroll down, you're going to see that there is an account protection policy, and again, kind of zoom out to show you what we're looking at here. There's account protection policies. That is what we're going to create. Now, I have a few already for other demonstrations and content that I've had to do. For instance, controlling local group membership inside of Microsoft Intune. Yes, I'll get a video if you want. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll show you how you can control local groups with Microsoft Intune. I've already done this demonstration before as part of creating content. So you can see that we've got an East-US, and again, I just try to keep these to where I can identify them. Keep in mind your naming convention, best practices, something that's unique, something that's very user-friendly, easily identifiable to your company. So this is my East-US lapse policy 01, and I also have an East-US Windows Hello for Business in order to deploy Windows Hello for Business, right? Again, another demonstration that I can do if you want. Just leave a comment below. So let's go ahead and let's create a new policy. All right, that's going to give us this pop-out blade here where we create the profile. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the platform, and you can see, well, it's not like I really have an option here. We're going to go ahead and choose Windows. But then we have three options under here. We can do account protection, we can do local admin password solution, which is Windows Lapse, what we're going to do here. And then this is where you can actually create and control your local group membership with Intune by creating this type of policy, or profile, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose the Windows Lapse. All right, and if I kind of back out here a little bit, take the time to pause the video if you want, because you can read a little bit about what this is doing, as well as the devices that it applies to. And then after that's done, we'll go ahead and click Create. Now, when we're creating various profiles and policies, you'll see that there's typically a series of configuration tabs that we have to go through. I know they don't really look like tabs, but they are. Right, and we have to, in the basic tab, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give our policy a name. I have one for East US. I'm going to go ahead and call this West US devices. And I'm going to call this the lapse poll 01. Right? And then you can give it a description as well. If you have multiple administrators helping you, descriptions are easy because it helps another administrator know instantly what this policy is going to be for. But then we're going to choose Next. And then when we choose Next, this is where we have a variety of different parameters that we can configure when it comes to lapse. Like, for instance, notice that backup directory, I want to send this into Microsoft Entra ID. Now, it's still using some old terms. Azure AD, again, Entra ID. So what we're going to do here is we're going to back this up to the cloud. And there's other things that we can do too, right? We can name the administrator account. We can choose complexity if we want, right? What are the character sets that we want to use, right? I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to configure this, and what we'll do is just make sure that we're backing those passwords up to the cloud. And we'll choose Next. And if you have any scope tags here, tagging, if you will, is a very, very good thing to do. And you can get very granular here. I'll show you that in another video upcoming if you want. Again, comment sections help if you want to see something like that. I'm going to go ahead and use the default here. And then I'm going to choose Next. And then here's where we can assign this. Now, I did not ahead of time create me a West US devices group like I did for East US. I should probably already have had that done, but I'm going to go ahead and just choose Windows devices here to give you an example. Again, make sure that the groups that you put together make sense to you, the organizational structure, for your company. Now here, we can choose include or exclude if we wanted, and if we want to assign this to a broader section of identities, and then we really want to target, maybe a specific user, we can assign an assignment filter here. I'm not going to go ahead. We're just going to leave the defaults here, and I'm going to choose Next. And then here is your summary pane, right? And you can basically look at all of the different attributes of your policy that you just configured. And at this point, we choose Save. All right, and then after the fact, what we can do is we can confirm that our policy is here, right? So yes, we can see that our policy is here. It is assigned. We can see the platform. The target is mobile device management, as well as some of the attributes. When was it last modified? Then, if we want to determine the devices that this policy applies to and issue, or any kind of issues that might be surrounding that, we can select the policy itself. Right, and we can see succeeds, errors, conflicts, not applicable, in progress. And if we want, we could generate a report. Takes a bit to generate the report. But then we can also view information based on device assignment or even per settings. Now, we could also, if we needed to, maybe we decided that we needed to change the group. We could change the group, right? So coming back here, I have now created the West US devices group. Then I can change that, and then once that's done, we could choose next. It's not really changing anything here, so it should succeed. But there you have it. That's an easy way to enable and configure the local administrator password solution. I always say administrative. Just admin password solution, or LAPS. Remember that you have to enable it inside of Microsoft Entra ID. And let me show you as a bonus. Let's go here to Devices. All right, and let's see if we can find our Windows devices. All right. And you can see I've got a series of devices here that if I wanted to, I could put those into the groups that we've assigned that policy to, and they will inherit that policy as well. So keeping in mind, Entra ID, enable it there. Then come on over here to Intune, create the account protection policy. That is important. Those are the two steps you need to do to be able to configure this, as well as the skills that they're going to measure you on that MD 102 exam. So I would encourage you, everybody, like I've said in the intro, if you like what you see here, be sure to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, leave me comments in the comment section below because it really does help the channel, and the comments help to drive the direction of the channel likewise too. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time and joining me.